Alright, friends and families, welcome to SIPPS lesson number 26. Let's go ahead and begin by introducing our new spelling sounds for today's lesson. That means that they are going to be our sounds of focus when we read and when we spell. Alrighty, let's begin. First spelling sound, sound A, spelled A-Y. And my friends, if there's a space or a line here, that indicates that there's going to be a consonant right before it, or in that space. Great. Sound again, A. Sound A, this time spelled with an A-I. So we have similar sounds, different spellings. This line indicates there's going to be a consonant. Great. Let's go ahead and now review our older sounds. Sound or, sound 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 R, sound E. Last one, sound E. Moving on to our mixed list of words and syllables. Our red sounds are the sounds of focus for today, and then our blue sounds are the sounds of review. So we are reviewing anything that's blue is review sounds, and anything that's red is going to be a sound of focus for today. Okay, so let's go ahead. Underline sound, A, think, read, bait. Great job. Let's go ahead and move on. Underline sound or, think, read, cork. Underline sound, A, think, read, ray. Underline sound, A, think, read, hate. Underline sound, A, think, read, nay. Moving on to our syllables. Underline sound, A, think, read, lame. Underline sound, or, think, read, tore. Underline sound, A, think, read, Dane. Underline sound, which is the whole syllable, read, A. Great job. Underline sound, think, read, Fantastic job. Moving on. Moving on to morphemic transformations. We have our base word here. Go ahead and take a look at the base word. You can pronounce this as possible. Read, possible. Okay. Read, Lee. Again, Lee. Ready? Read the whole word, possibly. Great job. Okay. Read, possible. Read, Read the whole word, impossible. Great job. Moving on to our next word. Base word, assist. Read, assist. Again, assist. Read. This is going to be the third sound of the ED spelling ending, okay? Ed. Ed. Read. Ed. Again. Ed. Think. Read the whole word. Assisted. Great job. Read. Assist. Read, ing, think. Read the whole word, assisting. Great job. Read, assist. Read, ents. Think, read, assistance. Great job, my friends. Let's move on to our sight syllables. First sight syllable, ent. Read, ent. Again, ent. Kind of like different. Great job. Moving on. Read, ves. Kind of like vessel. Great job. Moving on. Read, cap. Again, cap, meaning head. Kind of like captain. And my friends, just to explain the meaning a little bit more, cap means head. So in the word captain, it would mean head of the team. Great job. Moving on. Read, sieve. Spell, C-I-V. This is an irregular sight syllable. Read, again, civ, meaning citizen. Kind of like civil. Again, read, civ, spell, C-I-V, meaning citizen. Great job. Let's go ahead and keep going. Read, back, again, back, kind of like factory. Read, back, again, back, meaning make. So you make things in a factory. Great job, my friends. Let's go ahead and keep going. All right, let's go ahead and review our older sight syllables. Read, is, spell, O-U-S. Read again, is, kind of like enormous or dangerous. Read, eous. Spell, I-O-U-S. Read again, eous. Kind of like serious or curious. Great job. Read, ents. Spell, A-N-C-E. Read again, ents. Read, ents. Spell, E-N-C-E. Read, ents. Spell, A-N-C-E. Read again, ents. Kind of like balance or importance. Moving on. Read, ents. Spell, E-N-C-E. Read again, ents. Kind of like silence. Alrighty, my friends. So next we're going to review some irregular words from former lessons or previous lessons. Read, although. Read, though. Read, course. Great job. Moving on. Alrighty, my friends, moving on to reading by syllables. Read, ner. Read, this. Ready? Try for the real word, nervous. We have an irregular syllable in And we also have another irregular syllable in us. Us. Okay? Let's keep going. Read, a. Read, way. Try for the real word, away. This A up here is a schwa. It doesn't sound like its normal short or long sound. So, the real word is away. Great job. Let's keep going. Read, core. Read, ner. Is an irregular sight syllable. Okay, let's keep going. Great job. Read, kun. Read, cane. Read, an irregular sight syllable. Try for the real word, container. Great job. Read, re. Read, main. Try for the real word, remain. Great job. Read, al. Read, ways. Oops. Try for the real word, always. With the A here, we have an irregular, sorry, not an irregular. We have a schwa here because the A here does not make a normal a or a sound. It makes a sound, so that's a schwa. So remember, a schwa is when a vowel doesn't make its normal short or long sound. Great job. Let's keep going. Moving on to reading entire words. Let's go ahead and begin with our first word. Is there an irregular sight syllable at the end? There is not. Alrighty, now let's take a look. How many consonants are in between our two vowels? 2 consonants. Great job. So with a VCCV pattern, we split between the 2 consonants. Ready? First syllable, kit. Second syllable, T. Ready? Try for the real word, kitty. Great job. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable? There is not. Okay. How many consonants are in between our 2 vowels? There is 1 consonant. Okay? So our normal rule of thumb is that we usually split right before the consonant so that it can go with the second vowel. Let's try it out and see if it works. Ready? First syllable, B. Second syllable, side. Try for the real word, beside. Great job. Moving on. All right, my friends, is there an irregular sight syllable here? Yes, there is. We have it in bowl. Bowl is an irregular sight syllable. So we're going to go ahead and split right before bowl. First syllable, tum. Second syllable, bowl. Ready? Try for the real word, tumble. Moving on. Is there an irregular sight syllable? There is not. Let's go ahead and take a look. How many consonants are in between our 2 vowels? We have 1 consonant in between our 2 vowels. So remember, we usually split right before the consonant so that it can go with the second vowel. Ready? Let's try and see if it makes sense. Ready? First syllable, po. Second syllable, light. And we have that I and E, so we know that that makes the long I sound right there, okay? Think. Try for the real word, polite. Great job. Moving on. Oh, Miss X is going to need to cover this for you guys. Let's go ahead and work through this. Is there an irregular sight syllable in our word here? There is not. So now we're going to work through it section by section, okay? We have a VCV pattern here. How many consonants are in between our two vowels? We have one consonant. Now, we usually split with a VCV pattern. We split right before the consonant. Okay, so we split right before the consonant. Now, let's move on to our second one, our second VCV pattern in the word. Down here. We're going to go ahead and see if it makes sense splitting it before the consonant, okay? We have one consonant in between our two vowels here. Okay, now let's try for the real word, okay? First syllable, toe. Second syllable, may. Last syllable, toe. Try for the real word, tomato. Great job, my friends. You did wonderful. That was kind of tricky, right? Let's keep practicing. Okay. Alrighty. Going to go ahead and cover that so we don't get confused. Take a look at our next word. Do we have an irregular sight syllable here? We do not. How many consonants do we have between our two vowels here? We have one consonant, so we have a VCV pattern. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we remember our rule of thumb is splitting before the consonant so that it can go with the second vowel. Let's see if it makes sense. If we were to split it right here, right after the A, or right before the consonant. First syllable, tra. Second syllable, bowl. Great job. It does seem like it makes sense. So let's try it over here now. Let's try splitting it because we can be flexible with splitting our syllables. Let's try splitting it right after the consonant. Ready? First syllable, trav. Second syllable, L. That sounds kind of strange. Let's go with splitting it right before the consonant. Ready? First syllable, tra. Second syllable, vol. Great job. Try for the real word, travel. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. Take a look. Do we have an irregular sight syllable? We do not. So let's go ahead and keep going. How many consonants do we have in between our two vowels here? We have two consonants, and we know that with a VCCV pattern, we're going to split right between our two consonants. Ready? First syllable, gar. Second syllable, bej. Think. Try for the real word, garbage. Great job. Moving on to our last word. Or not our last word. We still have two more words, but our last word on the page. Do we have an irregular sight syllable in this word? We do not. Now let's take a look at our consonants and vowels. How many consonants are in between our two vowels here? We have one consonant. We're going to go ahead and see if it makes sense to split it with our usual rule, which is right before the consonant. Okay, first syllable, wah. Second syllable, gun. Yeah, it seems like it could potentially be, the split could potentially make sense right there. Now let's try it and see if it works over here. Ready? First syllable, wag. Second syllable, un. Sounds kind of strange, so we're going to go ahead and keep it right before the consonant. Ready? First syllable, wah. Second syllable, gun. Great job. Moving on to our last two words. Okay, take a look. Do we have an irregular sight syllable here? We do not. So let's take a look at our VCV patterns. How many consonants do we have in between our two vowels? We have one consonant. Okay, so let's see if the split, our usual rule of splitting before the consonant so that it goes with the second vowel. Let's see if that makes sense. Ready? First syllable, ka. Second syllable, bin. I can see that. Potentially that makes sense. Okay, let's now be flexible and try it over here and see if it works. Try it right after the consonant and see if it works. Try first syllable, cab. Second syllable, in. That also sounds like it could potentially be the correct split. However, my friends, let me tell you a secret. The correct split is going to be right before this consonant. We're going to split it right after the A, or right before the B, right before the consonant. First syllable, ca. Second syllable, bin. Cab, in, doesn't make as much sense as cabin. Great job. Try for the real word, cabin. Alrighty, now we have a slightly more difficult word here. Go ahead and take a look. Do we have an irregular sight syllable here, my friends? We do. We have the sound here. We have the syllable here. Okay. Now, because there's a lot going on here, we're going to go ahead and cover up the word and work through it section by section, okay? How many consonants do we have in between our two vowels? We have 2 consonants, okay? So, with our VCCV pattern, we're typically going to go ahead and split in between our 2 consonants here. So, we're splitting in between those 2 consonants, and we have our first syllable completed, which is ham, okay? Now, moving on to our next VCCV pattern here. Oops. Take a look. How many consonants are in between our 2 vowels? We have 2 consonants in between our 2 vowels here. Okay. Let's go ahead and split right between our 2 consonants, because with the VCCV pattern, we know we split right in between our 2 consonants. Now let's take a look and see what all of our syllables look like. First syllable, ham. Second syllable, burr. Last syllable, gur. Now try for the real word, hamburger. Great job, my friends. Let's go ahead and move on to our guided spelling. All right, my friends, welcome to guided spelling. Today we have 3 words. Our first word is going to be crocodile. There is a crocodile in the water. Go ahead and say crocodile. Great job. Let's go ahead and split by syllables now. First syllable, croc. That's going to be a sound out syllable. Second syllable, represented by an O. Last syllable, dial. Okay, D. I. And I hear an L. We know that's a long I, so we're probably going to add that E at the end, and we are. Crocodile. And use the annotation that we use here to remind us that that's going to make a long I sound because we have the E neighbor. Alrighty, number 2, alone. I am home alone. Go ahead and say alone. First syllable, that's going to be a schwa represented by the letter A. Remember, a schwa is when the vowel doesn't sound like its normal short or long sound. Ready? Second syllable, lone. O. It's going to be a long O. I'm going to go ahead and add the E neighbor. And then we know that if there's a line here, that's usually represented with a, or space there for a consonant. Alone. Now go ahead and erase that line. Let's go ahead and annotate the O and the E for alone. Great job. Number 3, 7. I have 7 copies of the packet. 7. Go ahead and say 7. First syllable, sev. That's going to be a sound out syllable, okay? Second syllable, N. Now, that syllable has a schwa, so we're going to use the E spelling. 7. N. And I hear an N at the end. This is our schwa right there. Okay. The real word is 7. Great job, my friends. Make sure your paper looks exactly like mine, and if you made a mistake, cross it out and write the correct spelling on top. Don't forget to add our annotated sounds, or like the markings down here, so that we recognize that sound and that spelling pretty easily in the future. Great job, my friends. I will see you in the next lesson.